Good afternoon and welcome inside the Wilmington University Athletics Complex in Newark, Delaware for today's CACC cross-division matchup between the 3-7 Caldwell Cougars from the North Division and the 1-12 Wilmington Wildcats, who of course play in the South. I'm John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan. Happy New Year, everyone. We hope you had a happy and healthy holiday season, but now it's time to get back to basketball. Wilmington returns to the comforts of the athletics complex for the first time in 2024 and hope to ring in the new year here at home with a win. It'll be the sixth game under interim head coach Brian August and his staff, and the new year brings with it the addition of two new players who are very familiar with the school's athletic program. They are Haley Downen, a softball player here at Wilmington, and Katie Bushong, who plays on the volleyball team. This is the 23rd meeting between the two schools. Caldwell has won 3 in a row and hold a 13-9 advantage in the all-time series. They enter today's game winless in the conference with losses to Felician and Bridgeport. Their leading scorer is already sort of a freshman sensation, Janelle Lewis, who is coming off a career-high 26 points in Wednesday's loss to Mercy. She ranks 6th in scoring in the CACC. Lisa, the Wildcats are also 0-2 in the conference under this new coaching staff, but in fairness, the two opponents might be the toughest they've faced this year in the conference. For that reason, today's game might be more of an indication of just how competitive Wilmington will be the rest of the way, while doing so with a couple of new players and a couple of players who are no longer with the team for one reason or another.
Yes, Wilmington definitely has played two of the better conference teams in the last 2 games. I think they did find out some things about themselves and their team, and one of them being that they can compete. They haven't done it for 40 minutes yet, but they have the fight in them to do it. I do believe they'll be competitive throughout the rest of the season, and as we know, anything can happen if you make the tournament. March Madness is definitely real.
Caldwell is coached by Christy Conforti in her 3rd season. The starters are Janelle Lewis, the freshman from Jersey City, New Jersey, Amaya Bray, a sophomore from Manchester, New Jersey, sophomore Lucy Coogan from Ireland, and freshman Brooke Corbett from Staten Island, New York, and last but not least, transfer from Rider University, number 33, Sophia DeMauro, a 5'9 grad student. The Wildcats, coached by interim coach Brian August, and their starters are Deja Claiborne, a 5'9 junior from Hyattsville, Maryland. Amber Washington, a 5'1 senior from Bear, Delaware, played at local St. George's Tech. Trinity Brinningham, a 5'9 senior, also from Middletown and also from St. George's. Zay Garrison, a 5'4 senior from Denton, Maryland, played down at Sussex Central down in the lower part of Delaware here. And last but not least, from Lancaster, a 5'10 senior, Katie Bushong. And she is one of the players we talked about who is a volleyball player here at Wilmington University. And Lisa, you often see this happen in Division II especially, where the second semester starts and you have players who probably were with the team, not in Katie's case, practicing and stuff like that, but then they joined the lineup here. And so it's a new year and we'll get to see, this Wilmington team that has gotten better under this new coaching staff. And we'll see if that continues today and maybe results in their first conference win of the season. Yeah,
it's definitely, they're just playing a different brand of basketball. And even in their away games, the announcers have said it's just a more aggressive, looking to score, looking to push the action Wilmington University team.
Deja Claiborne might be giving up a couple inches to Lucy Coogan, but she wins the tip, and Wilmington will start off man-to-man defense for Caldwell. Jumper there by Bushong is no good, and battling for the rebound underneath. There's a collision, but coming away with it is Amaya Bray, the sophomore out of Manchester, New Jersey. Caldwell University, of course, located up in North Jersey. Jumper from the wing is good, and that is the Division I sampler. Transfer Sophia DeMauro comes in shooting just 24% from beyond the 3, but nails her first one.
That always seems to happen, right?
Looks like they gave her a 2, so just a 2-pointer.
Yeah, I did a little research on Katie. Apparently she is one of 4 players in WMU history to lead an assist for volleyball.
Wow. Amber Washington drills a 3, so a good start for the guard from St. George's Tech. They work it underneath there to Coogan, and she is able to deliver underneath. And I watched a couple games that they played in, and Coogan is tough inside when she gets the ball.
Yeah. She looks it.
Traveling violation there against the Wildcats. That was Bushong, who took a step before the ball hit the floor. They come in averaging 23 turnovers a game. Mia Fuller is going to check in for Bushong. And so we'll be interesting to see who takes Coogan underneath, because it's not going to be Mia Fuller.
Well, it looks like Wilmington has a new look, 1-2-2. They look like they're playing a little today.
All righty, and that would explain why Fuller came in for the much taller Katie Bushong. She's a 5'10 senior. Mia Fuller, just 5'5", freshman out of the Bronx, New York.
We have a box and one here.
And
with Zay Garrison playing a box and one.
And it worked there. Trinity Brittingham comes up with the steal there. Fuller has it in the corner. She dishes it underneath to Claiborne. That's where Claiborne likes to shoot. And up and under, puts it up and scores. No, they're going to call a traveling violation. I didn't see the travel, but
I didn't see the travel either. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
No,
I did not see it though.
It was a nice move.
Yes,
either way.
It was. So it looks like Zay Garrison is taking Janelle Lewis in a box and one. So she's playing man-to-man, and the rest of the players are playing the zone.
They've done that 2 trips down the floor, and they've got 2 turnovers.
Yep.
17 turnovers a game for Caldwell, so already 2 in the books here. Lisa, I've been doing this for 4 years now. I've never seen the women's team play a box and one, and so far it's worked. So whoever on Coach August's staff decided they should do that, and it might have been Coach August himself, deserves a lot of credit. Fuller kind of forces the shot. It gets swatted away by Brooke Corbett and heading the other way. And, Lisa, that's a shot that Muller, I think, would like to have back.
I think so, too. But speaking of the box and one, so Janelle Lewis now is feeling the pressure.
Yep.
I got to get the shot when I can get the shot, and that's not always the best shots.
And she's shooting 40% from the field, so a good outside shooter as well. Brittingham, which is coming off a good game, missed that jumper. Brittingham had 4 3-pointers in the loss up at Holy Family, which I believe is the most she's had, Lisa, as a Wildcat.
Probably. She would say herself she's been in somewhat of a shooting slump, so it was good to see her come out.
Coogan with a miss underneath. That was Bray that got the rebound, got knocked out of bounds, going to stay Caldwell ball. Checking in for the Wildcats is Anaya Bond, and also number 24, Samaya McFarlane. And making their first appearance for Caldwell is, I thought somebody checked in, but I don't see a new person. So we're going to keep the lineup as is.
Looks like a 2-3 out of bounds, but they're definitely paying attention to Janelle Lewis.
And Lewis, for the third time now in a row, Caldwell has turned the ball over against that box and one.
If you don't have an offense for a box and one, it gets tricky. So that's 4 possessions, with the last 4 since we've seen the box and one that they haven't scored.
Claiborne underneath misses it. Coogan comes away with it. She's looking up at DeMauro. They get it up to her, and DeMauro's trying to get by Washington. Nice defense there by Amber Washington, but DeMauro still looks like a Division I player, and she is from Rider University.
Yes. Little handle, little crossover, and a step back. Yeah, that looked Division I.
Wilmington trails by 3 here. Washington with it.
Yeah, when they get those shots inside, they have to make them.
Great rebound inside by Bond. Ball gets stripped away. Scrum on the floor, and coming away with it is Lewis. She's going to push the ball up the floor. Gets her way to the basket, puts it up and short, and coming down with it is Anaya Bond. So to your point again, Lisa, she's trying to make stuff happen that really isn't there to take.
Because the kick was to the corner for an open 3 for DeMauro. So
bad luck under there as both Anaya Bond and Deja Claiborne went for the rebound. Would have had it, but they tasseled over it and it ended up going out of bounds. Trinity Brinningham's going to check back in for Deja Claiborne.
But it's good to see them competing on the glass.
Also making her first appearance here at the Athletics Complex, at least as a basketball player, number 5, Haley Downen, a softball player for the Wildcats. What a sensational season they had. Coach Mike Shehorn led his team to the conference championship, and I think it was the best season Wilmington has ever had. I don't know that for a fact, but I think I remember reading that somewhere. So Haley Downen, a part of that for sure.
Yeah, the Caldwell coach is a little confused why that wasn't their ball. I'm not sure either. I know Amber tipped it.
Yeah, KJ Gordon has checked in for Janelle Lewis. So Lewis is going to get a break. She's been going at 110%. Amber Washington fires her third shot, and that misses. So she's made her first, but has missed the last 2 out of bounds off Caldwell. Going to remain Wildcat basketball.
Yeah, Brittingham competed. They're really competing on the offensive glass, which is a really good sign for Wilmington.
Get the ball into Fuller. Fuller being guarded there by Brooke Corbett. They get it into Bond. Bond makes a move on Coogan and goes up just off the back of the rim. Coogan comes down with it, hands it over to Bond as she falls down, and Bond scores. So good hustle by Anaya Bond. Smart decision not to hustle back on defense.
Yep.
You don't say that very often. Coogan from three. No good, and Bond comes down. That's going to be at least 3 rebounds for Anaya Bond this early. It is number 3.
Kick it right to the corner.
She fires from 3. It's blocked there by Corbett. And on the leak out is Bray, and she puts it up and scores.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. That was a good make. Yeah, I think they should have. Bond should have kicked that to the corner to Brennigan for an open 3.
Bond's going to fire from 3 and score. So Anaya Bond doing it on both ends of the floor.
See, and that time she was wide open. She has to take it. But we commented a few games ago that she has real nice touch on her jump shot. Yep, good rotation. So it's good to see her put them up.
Jumper by DeMauro, no good, and coming down with it is Bond, her 4th rebound of the night. She gets it out to Brittingham. Brittingham picked up there by DeMauro.
This is the best I've seen Wilmington compete on the glass.
Brittingham drives and hits the bottom of the rim. Nice move, got where she needed to be, and just mistimed her jump, I think. And that foul is going to be on Fuller, and that's going to send DeMauro to the free throw line.
I don't know if she was surprised that there was nobody that came over to get her.
Say Garrison's going to check back in for Wilmington. Brianna Carey making her first appearance, a 5'7" freshman from Clifton Park. Checks in. Coogan's going to get a break along with Amaya Bray. And Amber Washington's going to have a seat for the Wildcats. First shot is up and good by DeMauro. DeMauro, a 60% free throw shooter. She was part of a Rider team that won the MAAC title. She was injured last year. You see the sleeve on her left leg. I'm going to assume the injury was to that left leg, or maybe the left knee, I should say, or maybe the left ankle. It looks like she also has a brace on that. And that's going to be a foul on Coogan, a blocking foul, and that's going to send Trinity Brittingham to the free throw line, where she is 0 for 6 on the year. Doesn't get to the line very often, obviously, as we're 13 games into the season, so averages about a half a trip to the free throw line a game.
But you see Wilmington is definitely making a focal point to push the ball ahead and try to get something in transition. And the last game, Holy Family, they actually beat Holy Family in transition baskets.
Brittingham now 0 for 7 from the free throw line. Let's see if the announcer's jinx works in reverse here.
I hope it does.
So does Trinity.
I'm sure she does.
In and out. Did everything but go through.
That's when you don't have the perfect backspin on the ball and it hits the rim, it's going to pull it out. Straight up 2-3 zone here by Wilmington. I guess Lewis isn't in the game, so no point in boxing one.
Jumper rattles in and good for Brooke Corbett. Comes in averaging just 3.5 points a game, so already has 2 toward that average. 4:06 to play here. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan. Our first broadcast, I should say, of the new year. Men will follow at approximately 3 o'clock. Men are off to a 3-0 start in the conference for the first time in school history.
I'm excited to see their game next.
Fuller shot no good, and it's Corbett that comes away with the rebound. Gets it ahead to K.J. Gordon. DeMauro trying to get Coogan. Coogan is double-teamed underneath. Nice look there. Kick back out. Gordon's going to fire. In and out, no good. Corbett with the rebound, puts it up, no good. Gets another offensive rebound. She's tied up by Haley Downing, and it's going to be a jump ball. It's going to remain Caldwell's ball. Checking in for Wilmington is going to be Katie Bushong, Amber Robinson, and Deja Claiborne back in. No subs there for Caldwell. DeMauro will inbound it underneath their own basket. Seeing your picture there, interim coach Brian August. He coaches the baseball team here, a very, very successful coach. Also a member of the University of Delaware Hall of Fame, where he was an exceptional player. Taking on the interim duties here. No decisions yet on who's going to coach this team next year, but as a couple of people have mentioned to me, hopefully they'll come to that decision one way or the other as recruiting season gets underway for next year. Jumper from the top of the key, in and out, no good. Claiborne comes down with the rebound, her second of the game. Floater, no good. And Coogan gets the rebound and is going to be fouled. Coogan's 5th rebound of the game already. She leads this team with 7.1. Janelle Lewis, the freshman starting point guard, is going to come back in. Interesting enough, she's coming in for Sophia DeMauro, who plays underneath. So be interesting to see what.
Yeah, they went back. It looks like they're going back to what initially we thought was a 1-2-2, but I think it's box and one. Yep.
Imani Lucas-Davis no longer with the Wilmington team. Leanna Masseuse is nursing an injury. Hopefully her season's not done. We'll keep you posted on that. That foul's going to be on Zay Garrison. Checking in for Caldwell is going to be Amaya Bray. And Lisa pointed out that Shania Dunston-Mason is not on the bench. We'll see if we can get some more information on that. Caldwell working the ball around.
Like that's a good trap.
Looks like they're back into that box and one. That was a good look.
Yeah, that was an excellent look, especially over a double team.
Wilmington down by 6. Turnover on that one. Gordon pushes it up. Drive in. They're going to. Refs are both pointing at each other. See who the foul is going to be on Katie Bushong.
I will give it to Katie. I don't know if she has not played basketball since high school, but she doesn't look like she hasn't played basketball since high school. She looks great out there.
She was a 4-year starter at Manheim Township High School in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Brittingham and Bond both check in for the Wildcats, 2-3 zone. And a quick steal there, but Wilmington had it and then didn't go after it. Lewis gets to the basket, up and under is good and scores. So the wild shot ends up working for her there. The foul is going to be on number 12, Nia Bond.
Yeah, Nia she stopped moving her feet. She got to a point and stood straight up. And you got to keep going, playing defense because they'll go around you.
One thing I noticed about Lewis watching the game film, as number 24, Shawntia Alexander, checks in for KJ Gordon. Alexander scored 6 points in just 8 minutes late in the first quarter and early in the second quarter against Mercy. And, Lisa, she came in and made an immediate impact. Got a couple foul shots, scored a basket, got a couple defensive rebounds. So we'll see if she has that same kind of impact.
That's how you get more time.
That's right. And what I was going to say about Lewis is I noticed she forces a lot of shots to the front of the rim. And sometimes it's successful like you just saw, but sometimes, I would imagine her – Coach Christy Conforti just shakes her head at some of the choices she makes. So far, so good.
She's still young.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's a learning opportunity for her, to get that experience. And, things that worked in high school might not work here at this level.
Brittingham off the back of the rim. And as you saw, Wilmington almost came back and had the ball. Nice hustle there by Amber Washington especially. So it's going to end up going back to Caldwell.
I can see why you're playing a box and one on Lois. So.
Yeah.
She has that kind of wiggle.
Yep, and only a freshman, as you pointed out. Minute 30 to play here. Wilmington is in the penalty, so Caldwell will shoot 2 the rest of the way. Turnaround jumper there by Bray is good. So Maya Bray, who comes in averaging 6.4 points a game, had 9 points and 8 rebounds against Mercy, gets on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they need a good offensive possession. Move the ball around, get exactly what you want.
Washington is going to stop keeping that in. Brittingham's going to fire from 3. That's long and right. Lewis runs it down in the corner.
I'd be surprised if they scored here if Coach August doesn't call a timeout.
Under a minute to play. Looks like the Caldwell's trying to set up a play. Wilmington in that box and one.
Yeah, but
jumper from the wing is no good. Brittingham comes down with the rebound. It was Carey on the miss there. Washington gets it ahead to Bond. Bond covered there tightly by Bray. Not sure if that was meant for Amber Washington, but I'm glad it got there.
That's an assist.
3-pointer by Washington.
Of course it was meant.
Pulls Wilmington to within 8.
If they play this, Trinity got up. So Anaya has to come back over this way. There you go.
1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so Caldwell will let it tick down. It looks like they're trying to get Lewis a pathway to the rim, whether it's to score or kick out.
Keep her on the left. Keep her to the weak side, and I would have stepped up and probably doubled here.
Esposito with the pick there and firing away. Excuse me, it was Corbett with the pick and shot up and no good. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Caldwell with a 19-11 lead. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this. Welcome back inside the athletics complex. There you see the defending national champion Wilmington University cheerleaders performing in between quarters here. I'm John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan here on the CACC network. Caldwell with a 19-11 lead over Wilmington University. Both these teams trying to win their first conference games of the year. Caldwell is 0-2 with losses to Felician and a close one to Bridgeport in their last conference outing. And Wilmington University, their losses are to then number 11, now number 8 in the country, Thomas Jefferson University, Chestnut Hill, and Holy Family. And so both these clubs hoping to break those losing streaks. Caldwell is on a 3-game losing streak overall, and as I said, 0-2 in the conference. Wilmington ball to start this second quarter. Amber Washington fires from 3, short and left. Coogan down with her 6th rebound of the game. Turnover there. Amber Washington picks it up. She's going to go all the way to the basket, but kick it back out to Bond. And not sure what happened. It's a bad angle for us, whether Bond should have had that.
I think she was trying to stay behind the three-point line and didn't go get the ball.
No reason to stand behind.
And that's what August is telling her.
Yeah,
go get the ball.
Go get the ball. Can't shoot a 3 if it's out of bounds. Kind of lessons that Coach August and the staff are trying to implement into this team. It's not a young team by any stretch of the imagination. We've got several transfers. Amber Washington, one of them, who passes to Trinity Brittingham, who's another transfer. She goes up for the shot. August wants the foul. No call there. Lewis streaks to the other side. Washington back on defense. A little hop, skip, jump there, and a score for Lewis.
Yeah, not a young team, but young in terms of playing in competitive games.
Yes. Yeah, as we talked about, some of these women who have transferred here transferred because they weren't getting a lot of playing time where they came from. So your point is exact. Meaningful minutes have not been aplenty. Trinity Brittingham breaks her 0-for streak there and is now 1 for 6 from beyond the arc. Would love to see her get going. As I mentioned earlier, she shot 4 3-pointers, or shot and made, I should correct, against Mercy. And hammered inside, I believe they're going to get either Trinity Brittingham or Anaya Bond. And then DeMaro's going to head to the free throw line. It's going to be Trinity Brittingham. And for Brittingham, that's going to be foul number 1, first foul for Wilmington. Leah Fuller's going to check in for McFarlane. So you got Brittingham, Bond, Claiborne, and Washington, along with Fuller for the Wildcats. DeMaro, Bray, Coogan, Esposito, who wasn't a starter but is now checked in, and Lewis for Caldwell. And that one rattles in and out as well. So 21-14 the lead for Caldwell.
Little press here. Get this. You have to get somebody in the middle.
They get it to Claiborne, down to the wing to Fuller. She dishes off right to Amaya Bond, so that's how you break it.
Well, Fuller's at her best when it's a more wide-open game rather than walking the ball up and putting her in a half-court set. When she's able to have the freedom to drive and create, she's at her best. Tough
foul there if they end up calling a foul on Brittingham. She got the body after she went for the steal, but it really didn't impact the play. But a foul is a foul for Brittingham. That's going to be her quick second. We'll see how long she stays in here before August takes her out. See Coach Brian August there talking to the official. He's still complaining about Brittingham getting hacked on the other end.
I wonder if he's aware.
Lewis fires from 3, and it's good. So Janelle Lewis, who they contained for the most part in the first quarter, now has 8 points, shooting 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc. So we'll see if they change back to that box and 1.
Yeah, and she has shown that she will shoot over the top of you. If you don't come out and make her put the ball on the floor, she's going to shoot right over top of you.
Claiborne makes the move inside. See if Bray gets this foul. It is going to be Bray picking up the foul.
And I'm sure Garrison came in to play Lewis.
Bray's first, team's first. Zay Garrison, as you mentioned, comes in. She's going to come in for Claiborne. So I think maybe August saw enough of Lewis. And standing on the line. So that's the second unforced turnover that Wilmington has had. And I know that's one of their focuses. That's going to be their 6th turnover. The one was when Anaya Bond tried to stay behind the 3 and not just catch the ball. And then Amber Washington standing on the sideline.
They've had several opportunities inside to hit easy shots that normally they're going to make. So, but again, you're down 8 and you've done all that. So, correct some of those things and you're right in this game.
Coogan inside. I was going to say it looked like a travel to me. It is.
Yes.
And so it's going to be a turnover for Caldwell. And for Caldwell, that is their 7th turnover already. They averaged 17 coming into the game. So far beyond where they want to be at this point in the game, but still have an 8-point lead. So Amber Washington goes in, trips. They're going to call a block. And that's, I want to say it's a lucky call for Amber Washington. She made contact, but she was the one that forced the contact. Both players were moving backwards at the time.
Yeah, she definitely,
And they're going to call it a shooting foul.
Love it even more.
Lucky twice, but we'll take it. We're the home team announcers. We'll take it.
Absolutely.
First shot is up, rattles
again,
around and goes in.
That comes with being aggressive.
Yep.
Like, she was a more aggressive player on that play.
She's the leading free throw shooter that has a significant number of free throws, 68%. Anaya Bond, percentage-wise, is the leader, but has only shot 9 all year. The second one goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Caldwell ball.
It looks like we have a box and 1 again.
And they're going to get Lewis, allow her to bring the ball in, but Garrison's going to make it tough for her to come up the floor and just do whatever she wants.
You're just trying to get her to get the ball out of her hands.
Yep.
And then deny it back. Don't let her get it back.
And they try to whip it inside. DeMauro did. It was tipped away nicely there by Brittingham, but Caldwell gets it back. DeMaro's going to fire from 3. No good. Amber Washington battling inside, and it pays off.
She tried to get the box out. She missed it, but she stayed with it.
Driving in is Fuller, and she gets swatted away by Coogan, and that's probably a drive she wishes she might have back.
Yeah, I think those are drives she has to take right now so she can see, the pace of the game. Again, she's a freshman.
Amaya Bray travels right in front of us. Checking in for Caldwell is going to bring Brooke Corbett, and leaving the game will be Sophia DeMauro.
I think that's when Mueller, she's definitely at her best when she's attacking the basket, and you're going to have to live with some,
some drives like that.
Maya Foley,
some forced drives.
Yeah, you're going to have to live with them, and that's the growth and the learning from it.
7th turnover for Wilmington on a traveling violation there. DeMauro actually ended up staying in. She thought she was going out, but it was Jules Esposito that took a seat instead. Coogan gets it over to DeMauro, right back to Coogan. Coogan gets it underneath. Corbett tries to create a shot, instead gets it underneath the Bray, and that's got to be 3 seconds. Referee agrees with me completely. Corbett didn't get out quick enough. Made a great move and great
6.
pass, right?
Well, I think she anticipated a shot, so.
Wilmington's going to take a timeout. We'll see if it's a full or a 30, waiting for the official signal. Either way, it's a 24-17 lead for Caldwell. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll leave it right here. I'll tell you a little bit about head coach Christy Conforti of Caldwell. It's her 3rd season. She was a head coach at Concordia for 7 years. And in her first season at Caldwell a couple years ago, she took them to the CACC semifinals, the tournament semifinals. First time the Cougars had ever made it that far. They also got an NCAA bid this year. So really a nice job that Conforti has done here. She played at Pace University as a player. And as I mentioned, in her 3rd year here, and doing an excellent job with this Caldwell program. See what Brian August has designed here for Wilmington with the ball. 6:07 to play. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan here on a dreary Saturday in Newark, Delaware, and
at least we're not going to have a foot of snow.
we're not going to have a foot of snow, but Caldwell might up in North Jersey. Amber Washington fires from 3, so not sure if that's what they drew up, but it certainly worked. And Wilmington pulls within 4. Coogan gets it underneath, or tries to get underneath. Bond comes away with it. Washington has to watch out behind her. Bray is on her way in, and Bond forces her way in, and that ball is going to go off Coogan's hand. It'll stay Wilmington ball.
Yeah, Caldwell did a nice job of getting back. But that's Brittingham active on the defensive end. And, forcing turnovers. Trinity
Brittingham is 31st in the NCAA with blocks, and Amber Washington drills another 3. So Amber Washington has gotten her team back to within 1 almost halfway through this second quarter. And a near turnover.
I thought that was out of bounds.
Bray gets it back out. A little confusion by Caldwell right now.
Yeah, the box and one has definitely made an impact.
Bray forces a shot, misses an air ball there. Shot clock almost out, but Wilmington gets it. Head to Fuller. Fuller drives in and misses. Bond comes away with the rebound. That was Brittingham. She's going to be fouled on the floor, which is only going to be the 3rd foul for Caldwell. So no foul shots, but Wilmington maintains the ball to inbound underneath their own basket.
Yeah, I told you, I like Mia Fuller attacking the basket. That was a good take. She just has to finish. That'll come with experience.
Jules Esposito, the 5'7" sophomore from Staten Island, is going to check in. And Lucy Coogan is going to have a seat. Amber Washington trying to make it 3 for 3 off the back of the rim. No good. And Zay Garrison gets run over. No call. Wow. Lewis ran her over. And
I thought Bond got clipped.
Yeah, they could have called a foul on Caldwell there, 2 different places.
That might have been 15 yards in football.
Lewis brings it up. Had a hot start in the second quarter here. Cooled off a little bit.
2-3, but they're trapping out of it, denying it back to Lewis.
Nice look underneath to Corbett. Up and under. Can't spin it in. Batted around there, and Zay Garrison comes with it. Triple team, gets it over to Bond.
Look ahead.
Mia Fuller from 3. And it's good. So the 3-pointer has helped Wilmington, and they take their first lead of the game, 26-24.
I love that tempo. I love to see it. And again, even like that was a great shot there. A wide open 3 in transition. But even if she's making poor decisions, again, it's just the steps to learning to what you need to do to be successful at this level. So I like her game.
So Mia Fuller drills the 3. Amber Washington with a couple of 3s. Washington now 4 of 5, leads all scorers with 13 points. 7 points and 7 rebounds for Anaya Bond, and 3 points apiece for Trinity Brittingham and Mia Fuller. So a complete game effort here for the Wildcats, as Coach Christy Conforti has watched her team go from leading 19-11 at the end of the first quarter to now trailing 24-22. Decent crowd here on hand, Lisa, on a dreary Saturday. Mix of snow this morning, but that's all changed to rain here. But it's cold and miserable outside, so decent turnout here to watch the Wildcats open up the 2024 part of their schedule here in Wilmington. And they certainly have to be pleased so far with the comeback effort they've made here in the second quarter.
And look, we have a different defense again, 2-2-1 in a half-court set.
So Coach August changing it up.
They've been working. They've been in the gym working.
Yep. DeMauro gets to the hoop and rattles it in. So
I will say in a 2-2-1, you cannot let the ball go to the middle.
So it's tied up just like that.
You see, again, a good decision by Fuller. I don't have anything. Let me run the play.
Yep. Washington drives in, gets the shot, a forced one, hoping to get fouled. Bray comes down with it, and Amber is going to pick up what we hope is not a costly foul, but 90 feet away from the basket, and so you don't like to see that happen. That's her second, and so hopping off the bench is Haley Down, and she's going to come in for Washington. And not sure we'll see Washington the rest of this half. We'll say it was, right?
That was just frustration. She didn't make the layup she thought she should have. Here, you can't let the ball go into the middle. You can't let that happen. That creates a 3-on-2.
down and gets back, and so it cuts off the pass that was the last time down that they got over to tomorrow. And they whip it underneath and a turnover there, so the press does exactly what you want it to do. Ahead to Mia Fuller. She's going to head to the basket, and it's going to be a jump ball. I thought that was an excellent call by the referee.
It was.
And Fuller pushing her way to the basket. It's going to stay Wilmington ball.
Again, I like the push. I like her to put pressure on the defense. I like that. Ooh, Miss Brittingham.
They get it into Brittingham. Turnaround jumper is good. Maybe that's what she needs to do a little more often.
1 foot. Shot that off 1 foot. I like it.
1 foot turnaround jumper from 15. Brittingham.
Yeah, and now back to a 2-3. So you keep changing the defense and making Caldwell, make adjustments.
You get it to tomorrow. She's going to float one in, and that's going to be good.
She's good.
And as you said, you can't get them wide open, and especially a player
you can't let anything get to middle of the court.
Especially to a former Division I player. Played at Ryder. Turnaround by Garrison, forces it up, ends up getting her own rebound, and it gets swatted away there by Brooke Corbett. .240 to play here. Tie ball game. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan. Lewis with a jumper, and that is good.
That was lazy defense up top. They know that's the player you got to pay special attention to. And Lewis, that was just lazy defense. Nobody went out to contest it.
Lewis now in double figures, and Iabon, a wide open turnaround layup. Missed by about 2 feet. Must have thought she was going to get fouled because she pushed it much farther.
Well, that's a charge or that's a block. It's something. Or a flop, but it's something.
DeMauro doesn't like the call. They called her for back court. Katie Bushong checks in. Deja Claiborne checks back in, as does number 24, Samaya McFarlane for the Wildcats. So we'll see if they go back to that box and one.
I'm not sure who's going to do the scoring out here for one more. Maybe get Claiborne involved.
I'd like to see I'd like to see Claiborne get at one of her 12-foot jumpers inside. Brinningham's going to fire from three, and it's good. So Trinity Brittingham with her second three of the game.
Yeah, Brittingham said, I'm going to do the scoring. Yep. I'm just surprised they let her.
She had, I think, what is a career-high 14 points against Mercy. Claiborne with a great rebound there. Traveling violation she came down with. That's a tough call.
That's a tough call.
I thought they might call a jump ball.
Down.
She got
like
pulled
both
down.
Both people had the ball. Yep. I thought it would be a jump ball.
And even if you don't call foul, she fell for a reason. It wasn't because.
Out here in the corner.
And that could be a backcourt violation. Instead, it's going to be a turnover to Zay Garrison. She goes to the hoop, floats it up. Gets fouled, and will head to the free throw line. Try to give Wilmington the lead. Foul's going to be on number 22, Jules Esposito. And that's going to be her second foul, so I would imagine K.J. Gordon is going to come in for her, and that's exactly what happens. As Zay Garrison heads to the free throw line, just 1 of 7 from the free throw line this year, so we'll see if she's able to convert something. Mia Fuller is going to check in for Samantha McFarlane.
I love WilmU is not going away. They are not. No. They were down by 10.
Yep.
They are not going away.
And Iabon also checks in. Garrison remains 2 of 8 now from the free throw line. Wilmington, as a team, shoots just 56%. And second shot is up and good. Amber Washington checks in. She's going to come in for Katie Bushong.
She has 2 fouls, right? Washington?
Amber Washington has 2 fouls, yes.
I'm surprised they put her back in
on
defense.
Too, yeah.
But box and one again.
And that might be why. Corbett drives, nice dish there, and K.J. Gordon scores.
And that's a box and one. That's what you do. You attack.
Yep.
You attack the middle and you drive it.
Fuller pushes the other way, picked up there by DeMauro. Fuller at 5'5", DeMauro at 5'9", 4-inch difference there. We'll see if Fuller can get by her. Amber Washington with a pump fake.
I thought she had it.
Thought she had it. Could have been called for traveling. Is going to get pushed inside. And that's going to be on number 23, K.J. Gordon, her first, team's 5th. So Wilmington will shoot 2 shots in the final minute 10. Wilmington has just 3 team fouls, so still has 1 to give. Washington, a 68% free throw shooter, 1 of 2 on the day, now 2 of 3.
I would have a sub at the table for Washington so she doesn't play defense on this possession.
And Coach August might be thinking, well, she's a senior veteran. She should know that you don't make a
I
foul
can
in this
understand
situation.
that too.
Yep. 1 point lead for the Wildcats. Nice to see them.
So Caldwell is overloading the side away from the box and one defender.
You get it to Demaro, and she gets to the hoop. She got through the trap and to the hoop. You always say, Lisa, you split the trap and you head to the hoop if you can.
Ball fakes are your best friend when you're involved in a trap.
Amber Washington looked for the shot, ended up being guarded there by KJ Gordon, so decided to pull out instead. 15 on the shot clock. Garrison with a floater inside, hard off the back of the rim. 2 Caldwell players go up for it. Janelle Lewis comes down with it. Somebody needs to pick her up. Looks like they're going to take the last shot here. Shot clock has been turned off. Garrison is going to pick up Lewis. Garrison has just 1 foul, so could foul if she wanted to. They do have the 1 foul to give, so you'd hate to see them get a layup here.
Yeah, I would give the foul. Wait till she makes a move to the basket. I'd foul it right now.
Demaro's going to fire. She was fouled. I'm not sure how that was not called. She's asking the same question. But bottom line is that we're at the half. Lisa, 35-34. Caldwell with the lead over Wilmington. Your quick thoughts about the Wildcats here.
I love the pace. I love the coaching. Coach August and his staff are doing great by changing the defenses continuously and making Janelle Lewis work for whatever she gets, and then the whole Caldwell team make decisions on the offensive end. They can't get into any kind of routine or pattern because every time they come down the court, they're playing something different. So I love it.
There's the grad student, Demaro, who's playing for the first time with this team, came from Ryder and was hurt last year. I'm not sure if she was still with Ryder last year. I couldn't get that clarified. But we have 1 junior on the team, KJ Gordon. Everybody else freshmen and sophomores. So the more you mix it up against a young team, the more success you could possibly have.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Create that confusion.
35-34, Caldwell with the lead at the half. We're going to take a halftime break. We'll be back with the second half.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
In a country where 1 in 5 people are affected by a mental health condition, it's time for all of us to step up and change the conversation.
We all have stress in our lives and manage it in different ways.
Grades,
finances,
practice,
family,
games,
finals,
homework,
playing time,
friends, midterms,
treatment, studying,
sleep, time for me.
We don't have to find the balance on our own.
It's okay not to be okay.
We're all in this together.
People can and do get better.
Caring about one another can be your competitive advantage.
Communicate.
Be aware.
Show compassion.
Be a champion for each other. Hope starts with you.
Hope starts with me.
Hope starts with us. We are CACC student athletes, and we are breaking the stigma.
Welcome back inside the University Athletics Complex. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan here on the CACC Network. And Caldwell with a 35-34 lead. They led by as many as 9. Wilmington took a brief lead late in the second quarter and wasn't able to hang on to take a rare first half lead into the locker room in conference play, but certainly got themselves back in it, and Coach Haugus has to be proud. Amber Washington leads all scorers with 15 points, 8 points for Trinity Brittingham and 7 for Anaya Bond. 3 points for Mia Fuller and 1 for Zay Garrison. Sophia DeMauro leads Caldwell with 12 points. Janelle Lewis, the leading scorer on the team, has 11 points. She is 4-6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. But an effective box and 1 helped limit her significantly, especially in the first quarter. 4 points apiece for Brooke Corbett and Amaya Bray. 2 points for KJ Gordon and Lucy Gordon. Leading rebounders are Lucy Coogan and Brooke Corbett for Caldwell, and for Wilmington, Anaya Bond has 7 rebounds. It's going to be Caldwell's ball off the bench. Inbounding will be Amaya Bray, and we'll see what kind of defense Wilmington comes out in and what kind of offense Caldwell tries to counter with. Lewis has the ball. 5.
It's like a box and 1 again from Wilmington.
Zay Garrison is the 1 on Lewis, and it created 3 consecutive turnovers in the first quarter and 4 straight trips down the field without a score for Caldwell. Mia Fuller's going to pick up her second foul on that play, and DeMar is going to inbound, and Bray fires from 3, no good. Nice job by Zay Garrison coming off Lewis defensively to grab that rebound. Gets it over to Anaya Bond. She's going to shoot from 3, far off the front of the rim. Nice job by Claiborne, and she follows up and scores.
Love to see that. Love to see that. Hopefully that gets her going.
And so Deja Claiborne gets on the scoreboard, her first points of the night to give Wilmington the lead.
You see when the ball goes to the corner, Claiborne's coming all the way over on that box and 1, but there's nobody over there, so I'd like to see her flatten out so she can see the cutter, or she can stay, weak side to protect that box. In the
Coogan, who hails from Ireland, left-hand little turnaround layup is no good. Garrison flies the length of the court, hard off the back of the rim. Claiborne in on the rebound again, gets tied up, and coming away with it is Lewis, and she's going to sprint the other way, gets it ahead to DeMauro, and DeMauro is going to float in for the layup.
Yeah, that's DeMauro didn't get back on that one, so she got an easy one.
Back and forth here early on. A couple of lead exchanges. Claiborne trying to get where she likes it. Spins inside, puts up a right-handed shot. Little hook shot, no good. And DeMauro and Coogan battle for the rebound, and Coogan's going to get the one on the stat sheet. Nice look inside. Lewis makes the beautiful pass inside, and Amaya Bray gives her the finger, meaning in a positive way, points to her as if that's my basket thanks to you.
Yeah, Wilmington has to do a better job of communicating. The 4 people that aren't involved in the box and 1 that is the zone part, they have to communicate. You have to match up in your area.
Amber Washington has that one blocked by Bray. She started to head the other way. The ball didn't follow her, and instead Claiborne with her second bucket.
I'd like to see this aggressiveness from Claiborne. I hope she continues it.
And Coogan drives in, gets undercut there by Fuller, and I believe that's going to be Mia Fuller's 3rd foul. We'll see how Brian August counters. Trinity Brittingham's going to check in along with Katie Bushong. Bond's going to head out, and so is Claiborne. And somebody let Brian August know that Fuller just picked up her 3rd. And Haley Dowlen is going to head in. She's joining us. Haley Dowlen is a softball player here for the Wildcats, and Katie Bushong, who just checked in, also is a volleyball player for the Wildcats. So a couple of players, both I believe were 4-year starters in high school, if I recall having looked up their bios there. And Coogan misses the first. That was her first free throw here at the Athletics Complex. So she is 0 for 1. And makes the second. And so Caldwell with a 2-point lead. Zay Garrison bringing it up. And, Lisa, we've talked about all season we would like to see opportunities for Amber Washington not to have to play the point and be able to get herself open for jumpers.
And you've seen the last couple games that's kind of paid off for her. She was always forced before to take shots at the end. Not bad shots because it was the end of the shot clock, but more challenging shots. because it was the end of the shot clock. So now you get to see her in a flow of an offense take them.
Unforced turnover there, and Coogan gets the miss and puts it up with the left hand. So missed shot there by Bray, but Coogan cleans it up on the glass to extend the Cougars' lead to 4. Samaya McFarlane's heading to the scorer's table, along with Deja Claiborne.
Great timeout. Great timeout by Coach August.
It's going to turn, if it didn't turn into an immediate turnover, there certainly was confusion on the offensive end, the shot clock turning down. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it right here with 6:59 to play. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan. Caldwell a 42-38 lead. Both teams trying to win their first conference games of the season. Caldwell has losses to Felician and Bridgeport. And Wilmington, their losses are to Thomas Jefferson. They were then the number 11 team in the country, now currently number 8, Chestnut Hill and Holy Family. In that last game against Holy Family, the women shot 28% from the field, 36 from 3, 60% from the free throw. 25 turnovers is what hurt them there, and they were out-rebounded 65-32. It was nice to see Trinity Brittingham have a wonderful game, 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 blocks. She has 21 blocks, which is 31st in the NCAA. So just a terrific game for her.
Which is crazy. She's listed at 5'9".
She gets a lot of her blocks on players driving to the basket.
Yeah, she'll get some jump shots, too, like recovering out with her hand up. Yeah, it's crazy. She got pushed in the back.
They got it into Claiborne. She does a nice fake, gets Coogan in the air and scores. So Deja Claiborne, her 6th point here in the second half.
I love this Deja Claiborne. Yep. I saw it last year. This can be who Deja Claiborne is. Just be aggressive.
Be aggressive and hit that inside jumper. We see her get a lot of open 15-footers, and when she's on, she's on. And sometimes she just can't. They're always close. They just sometimes rattle in and out. Amaya Bray, no rattling in and out there, nothing but the bottom of the net to extend Caldwell's lead to 4. And she's now pressuring Washington. Gets it over to McFarlane. McFarlane drives in, a little floater inside, kind of a forced shot there, and DeMauro comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, I appreciate the aggressiveness, but not the best shot.
That's going to be traveling as Lewis hit DeMauro driving to the basket, and she took a couple steps before putting it up. It's going to be Wilmington ball. McFarlane has taken over the point guard position, gets it over to Downen. Downen's going to fire from 3, and that's short, down into the hands of Brooke Corbett, who has checked in. McFarlane is picking up Lewis on the box and 1 here. Coogan from 3, nothing but the bottom of the net. So Lucy Coogan averages 14 points coming in, 30% shooter from beyond the arc, hits one there.
I'm surprised she's only at 30 because the rotation is nice. She has nice form, good release.
She plays a lot inside, so maybe just doesn't get the opportunities.
Maybe.
And that's going to be an offensive foul. Called it on Claiborne. I'm not sure. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. She did say my fault, though. So.
Nia Bond is going to check in for Brittingham.
Yeah, Wilmington hasn't come out with the kind of fire they need right now, like to start this half.
Trail by 1 coming into this third quarter. Trail by 7 now, almost halfway through this third quarter. DeMauro has it, drives in, tucks the ball down, hoping to get fouled, and does. It's going to be on Deja Claiborne, her 2nd, team's 4th. So Wilmington already has 4 fouls, so Caldwell will be shooting 2 the rest of the way halfway through the quarter here.
And Caldwell's doing a nice job. They overload one side and they drive the middle against this box of 1.
First shot is missed. DeMauro, a 60% free throw shooter on the season. Now 2 of 5 today. Make that 3 of 6. Brittingham's going to check in for McFarlane. And it looks like Caldwell is going to put on a little bit of a press here. And now Coach Conforti backs it off. Fuller playing with the 3 fouls. Has to be careful not to pick up her 4th here in this third quarter. And they're going to call a foul there on Amaya Bray. She doesn't like the call. It's going to be the 2nd foul on Caldwell. Her 2nd foul as well. And Mia Fuller will inbound right to our left for the Wildcats. Bond sets the pick. Fuller gets past it, kicks it back out to Bond. She pump fakes Coogan. Nice pick there by Claiborne, but unfortunately Bond's about 6 inches short of the rim there, and Lewis heads the other way. Somebody needs to pick her up. Nice dish to DeMauro. DeMauro misses the shot, and coming down with a rebound, they're going to call a foul, and that foul is going to be on Brooke Corbett. So Deja Claiborne continues to hustle on both ends of the court.
Yeah, I see she has a brace on her leg, too. She must have sprained it. But
done something,
yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to be hampering her too much. And she's doing a great job. I hope she stays aggressive. And this is the Deja Claiborne we see from here to the end of her career.
Amber Washington, jumper hard off the back of the rim. Nice job there by Corbett boxing out. And they didn't call a foul on that last play when Claiborne was tied up. So the defender for Caldwell must have been on the baseline. And there's Claiborne
great rebound,
dominating that rebound on the defensive end. Pushes it ahead. Mia Fuller wide open for 3. That's going to be hard off the back of the rim. Kicked around. Bray comes away with it. Gets it ahead to the streaking DeMauro, and she's going to float in and score.
Yeah, that's a couple times she hasn't really gotten back on defense and, benefited from the kick ahead.
Claiborne makes the pick there for Brittingham. Fuller's going to try again from almost the same spot. This one was short. Other one was long. Bond throws it up, hoping to get fouled. No good there, and Coogan comes down with the rebound. I'd rather see Bond turn around and set herself up for a jump shot.
Yeah, or kick it out, or an up and under, or...
And that was just clearly assuming you're going to get fouled when you throw it up like that. Great give and go there. That was Coogan who caught the flashing Amaya Bray. And for Bray, that's her 10th point. Comes in averaging just 6.4, so already 4 above her season average.
Yeah, Wilmington has to be careful. It's getting away a little, so they have to be careful here in this last 3 minutes.
And Claiborne, they try to get it into her. It's knocked out of bounds by Brooke Corbett.
Yeah, that has to be a bounce pass in the post.
Zay Garrison and Bushong are going to check in for Wilmington. Jules Esposito makes her first appearance of the third quarter. She checks in for Amaya Bray.
I hope Zay Garrison comes in and gives them a little energy, a little burst. A lot of intensity on defense.
Shania Dunston-Mason tends to do that for Wilmington. Unfortunately, she is ill and not in the lineup today, but Deja Claiborne.
This is who Deja Claiborne has been. I'm glad to see this from her, and I hope she continues this effort.
4 of 6 from the field with 8 points, all here in the third quarter, and it's safe to say as DeMauro goes in and scores and is fouled, without Deja Claiborne, Lisa, this game might be a blowout right now. She's kept them in the game.
Yep. She just picked up another foul, and the only thing I would say there is if you're going to commit that foul, there's no N1. They have to go to the foul line and earn them both. You got to let them go.
Instead, there is an N1, and DeMauro is going to head to the free throw line where she is 3 of 6 on the day, 60% on the season, so about what she is.
Sometimes you get beat and you give up a layup, but you shouldn't give up a layup and a foul shot.
Foul shot is good, so what was a 1-point lead heading into the third quarter is now a 13-point lead for Caldwell.
Maybe Brittingham will hit some jump shots here, or because Claiborne's out. Like Amber will get going.
Zay drives to the basket, off the front of the rim, and no good. So kind of a forced drive there, and Caldwell comes away with it. Lewis looked like she almost carried the ball. Coach August was asking for it. Coogan's going to pull up from about 17, hard off the back of the rim. Zay Garrison skies for the rebound.
Get that ahead. She gave it to her too late.
Yeah, at that point, we're lucky Amber didn't turn the ball over.
She gave it to her too late.
And that foul is going to be on Brooke Corbett. Just the second team foul for Caldwell. 2:09 left to play here. Caldwell in the bonus the rest of the way. Wilmington only has those 2 falls against Caldwell. Brianna Carey's going to check in. She's going to come in for Sophia DeMauro. I guess as DeMauro will rest the final 2:09 of this third quarter. Be ready for the fourth. She doesn't have any fouls. Garrison gets to the hoop, puts it up, and is fouled. And that foul is going to be on Janelle Lewis, and it's going to send Zay Garrison to the free throw line.
Yeah, hopefully she knocks down 2 here, and they can start chipping away in the last 2 minutes of this quarter at this deficit.
Garrison 1 of 2 today, just 2 of 8 on the season, or 2 of 9, I should say, makes that one. Has a great form. I'm surprised
she
hasn't.
Good, yep.
I'm surprised she's struggled as much as she has. But, part of that is she hasn't taken many free throws. She's still not double digits yet in attempts, and we're halfway through the season. It's one thing. You can knock them down in practice. It's certainly not the same, as you know, as a head coach.
Can't recreate that.
Carey goes in, finds Coogan, and Coogan with the left hand. And I haven't figured out whether she's left-handed or right-handed because she does well on both sides of the rim. Coogan does. Garrison kicks it out. Birmingham had it open, decides to get it over to Washington. Pump fake, pulls up from about 2 feet inside the arc, came up about 1.5 feet short, and coming down with it is Carey, who heads the other way.
Yeah, I think Trinity missed Amber, and then Amber missed Trinity, where they both would have had open shots had they made that extra pass.
Caldwell just dominating Wilmington on the boards the last couple times down the floor. That was Lucy Coogan. And Coogan, that was her 11th rebound. She comes in averaging 7.1, ranks 11th in the CACC, so she's going to climb that ladder a little bit after today's game. Garrison drives in, puts up the ball, no good, and coming down with it is Lewis. And I'd like to see a little bit softer touch there around the rim.
Yeah, she's getting to the basket.
Yep.
She's just not laying it up soft enough.
Firing from 3 is Carey, and it is good. And Lisa signaling for the timeout here.
I would have done it before
here
that.
At the announcer's table with under a minute to go. I think August is just going to ride it out. Actually, he is going to call a full timeout. We're going to take it with him. Caldwell has jumped out to a 62-44 lead here late in the third quarter. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back inside the Athletics Complex here. 52.6 seconds left to play. Wilmington coming out of a timeout. What was a 1-point lead for Caldwell has ballooned to a 62-44 advantage here. Sophia DeMar leads all scorers with 20 points. Lucy Coogan with 12. Janelle Lewis with 11. And Amaya Bray with 10. And Lisa, I was going to say last time Caldwell held the ball, one of the things that impresses me most about Janelle Lewis, the freshman from Jersey City, who's the leading scorer on this team and ranked 6th in the CACC, is the fact that she's also a very unselfish player.
Yeah, you've definitely seen she's made great decisions. She's seen the box and one for the whole first half now, and she's definitely made adjustments to how she's playing in the second half, which has led to easy opportunities for her teammates.
Bond unable to make the shot, but she's going to head to the free throw line. Shantia Alexander, the 5'7" freshman from North Plainfield, has checked in for Caldwell. First free throw is in and out. Bond has 7 points on the night. That's her first free throw. Has 9 rebounds, leads Wilmington in that statistical category. She'll try to make this second one here. Second one is good. So 45 points for the Wildcats. They come in averaging 42.7 a game. So the offensive output today certainly is good. It's been the 62 points from Caldwell that has been the difference, and that is just a point above their average. So both these teams scoring above their average today. Shot clock is about 3 seconds different than the game clock. We'll see what Lewis is able to do here, being guarded by Washington, who's got 3 fouls. And a strip there by Mia Fuller. She's able to get by the defender.
She didn't realize just how much time she had.
didn't know how much time, and you can see Coach August there reminding her that there's a scoreboard on both sides of the gym, and so there's not an excuse not to know the time.
Yeah, shot clock is right above the basket.
And Fuller, a freshman, so like a few other times, it's going to be a learning experience for her. And 45 points for the Wildcats. Not quite enough here as we head into the fourth quarter. Caldwell with a 62-45 lead. You're watching on the CACC Network. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Fourth quarter here at the Wilmington Athletics Complex. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan. Caldwell with a 62-45 lead, led by just one coming into this third period, and the third period has been the difference where they scored 27 points. That's going to be a foul on Wilmington, and that's going to be on Zay Garrison. That's going to be her second, team's first here early on in the fourth quarter. Both teams trying to win their first conference game of the season. Caldwell 0-2, Wilmington 0-3. Nice steal there by the senior Amber Washington. She's going to float in, put it up, score, and it is fouled.
Great start to this quarter. They need like a little spark, and hopefully that's it.
Foul's going to be on KJ Gordon. For Gordon, that's her second foul. Team's first. Amber Washington heads to the free throw line where she is 3 of 4 this afternoon.
Yeah,
now
this
4 of 5.
With Lewis on the bench, this is where they're going to have to make their mark. Tomorrow's on the bench. This is where they're going to have to really get this down to 7, 8, 9 points.
And Coach Conforti, as you mentioned it, Tomorrow and Lewis are now at the scorer's table ready to check
because
in.
I'm sure she doesn't want it to get down to 7, 8.
Nope.
She walked. Oh, wow, I thought that was a travel.
No traveling called. Instead, it was going to be Shantea Alexander where the shot is good and it counts. Say Garrison just picked up her third foul, team's second. Lewis checks in for KJ Gordon, and obviously Tomorrow is checking in for Alexander. Shot is no good, so Alexander will stay in the game. Dave Claiborne comes down with a rebound, her 8th of the night. Brittingham from 3, and that's short. Comes off hard off the back of the rim after hitting the front of the rim, and coming down with it is Amaya Bray. Lewis flies to the hoop, kicks it back out. Carey decides not to take it, stripped away by Washington. She'll head the other way. And that was a drive, Lisa, again, we've seen it a couple times where she's just going in hoping to get fouled.
You have to go in with the intent to score,
right.
And then you get the N1, you get the N1. But otherwise you get nothing.
Fuller's going to inbound. Three-pointer.
Was that 3?
I haven't seen the indication yet. Looks like a 2, yeah.
2.5.
Toe was over the line. But for Claiborne now, she's got 10 points.
Yeah, I like this. I just like this aggressive Deja Claiborne.
Yep. Coogan with the jumper from 3. That's hard off the back of the rim. Brittingham with the rebound gets tied up. That's going to be traveling on somebody or a jump ball. It's going to be a jump ball instead. And it's going to be Wilmington basketball. Well, they're going to check here because the possession arrow right now says They switched it, but if they switched it, then it should have been, unless they forgot to switch it in between quarters. Cause,
it looks like it's going to be Wilmington.
Yeah, and now we'll see if they switch it back. They do. Okay, so that was the situation. They forgot to switch it at the end of the quarter, and they realized that once the jump ball was called. Garrison trying to work her way in against Lewis, puts up a floater, no good. Alexander comes down with the rebound, hands it back to Lewis, and they'll head the other way.
Looks like a straight 2-3 down on this end now.
And Bray puts it up, and
Brittingham again from that corner. She gets that corner jump shot at least one a game, it feels like.
Her 22nd block of the season. As we mentioned, she's 31st in the NCAA in blocks. McFarlane's going to check in for Fuller. And it's going to be DeMauro who's going to inbound under the basket. Gets it into Coogan. Coogan hails from Kilkenny, Ireland. Exercise science major here in the United States. Lewis fires from three. That's hard off the front of the rim. McFarlane runs it down. Manages to avoid Alexander. They work it ahead. Garrison's got it.
Big possession here. Get a good shot.
McFarlane's going to fire from three, and that is short, and Coogan comes down with it and heads the other way. McFarlane has only shot 6 times from beyond the arc, hasn't made one yet, now 0 for 7. That's going to be a Wilmington foul underneath on Claiborne.
Yeah, it was wide open, but it's early on the shot clock. So do you want to work around and see if you can get something, going to the basket, or you can get that shot with, 5 seconds left on the shot clock too.
Claiborne picks up her 4th, so she's going to come out. Checking in for her is Haley Downen, playing in her 2nd game for the Wildcats. Actually, it's her 3rd game. A softball player, here at the Wilmington. Joined the lineup in between semesters.
Yeah, I know Claiborne got 4, but this is where the game's going to be won or lost. So she wouldn't sit long for me.
No, I wouldn't think so. I was actually surprised she came out.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken her out. I'd have left her in there because, again, you're either going to get back in the game or, the game's going to be over in the next couple minutes. And you want her on the floor, based on what she's been giving you.
This shot there, Caldwell heads the other way. Garrison pokes it away from Lewis, going to stay Caldwell ball.
Yeah, I like the drives we're getting from Wilmington. They just have to finish.
7:24 to play here, 16-point lead for Caldwell. Looking to win their first conference game. Coogan's going to extend that lead now to 68-50. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan here on the CACC Network. Farlane kicks it out to Garrison. Garrison drives in. She's going to kick it back to Downen, who's going to fire from 3. Ticks off the front of the rim. McFarlane tries to run it down, almost rumbles into the bench, and it's going to be Caldwell ball. No, they're going to say Wilmington ball. I didn't see that get tipped, but Brian August did. He immediately pointed in his direction, and both refs agreed with him on that side of the court. So
get a good possession here. Something going to the basket or inside.
And Washington puts it up, gets knocked out of bounds. Coogan didn't think it went off her, but it did. And 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
Plenty of time. And
Bond is going to check in for McFarlane. We'll see if they run a play here. It looks like they're going to run some sort of box play from underneath. It's going to be a pick trying to get down and open. I was going to say Bond's wide open, and they score. So a great call there by the coaching staff, and that's exactly why Bond came into the game. And it's going to be a Caldwell timeout. Coach Conforti saw something she didn't like to see. We're waiting for the signal, whether it's a full or a 30. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll leave it right here. So, Lisa, the game's not over. It's 68-52. Katie Bushong's going to check in. Not sure who she's coming in for yet. We'll find out when they come out. But, this is a point in the game where if you're Brian August, you're talking about how we're still in this. This game's not over yet.
And they're definitely still in it. Each possession is going to matter, but it has to start on the defensive end. Good, sound defense, contest shots, do it without fouling, make sure you're boxing out and you're getting a rebound. And then get something going to the basket. You want the clock to stop, to give you a few more possessions if you can.
Amber Washington leads Wilmington with 18 points. She's 5 of 15 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. So one of her better games from beyond the arc. 10 points apiece for Deja Claiborne and Anaya Bond. 8 for Trinity Brittingham and 3 apiece for Zay Garrison and Mia Ford. Caldwell, is led by the rider transfer Sophia DeMauro. She has 20 to go along with 2 rebounds and 3 assists. 14 points for Lucy Coogan, 12 rebounds for her and 4 assists. And then their leading scorer, Janelle Lewis, 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. So Lewis has found other ways to contribute other than just scoring. They get it to Lewis. She's forced out.
I was close to a turnover. Just keep working.
Very aggressive defense here by Wilmington, and they're going to call a block on Zay Garrison.
Tough call.
That was a tough call, but she was moving when she made the contact. It's going to be her 4th foul. We'll see if she's going to come out or stay in. I can see Coach August talking to his assistant coaches whether we just leave her in or let her play it out, and it looks like she's going to stay in at least for now. Nice defense there. Brittingham's going to get
got another one.
her 23rd block of the season.
All I can think is her arms must be longer.
Yeah.
Like where you don't anticipate it.
And you can see her now. You see her arms out to the side, and they do look longer than you would think, given her height of 5'9". DeMauro unable to convert. Nice defense from behind there by Bushong.
Yeah, I'd like Claiborne to get back in the game.
And it's going to stay Wilmington ball. The other thing I'm thinking with Claiborne, she is wearing that brace. And so if Coach August is thinking, we got through this without her getting hurt, let's make sure she doesn't get hurt late in the game. That's not over yet, but it's a 16-point difference. Coogan misses inside. Coming down with the rebound is Trinity Brittingham.
See, I like that. Force it in here. Yep.
And here comes Claiborne at the scorer's table. Bond drives and gets knocked out of bounds by Coogan.
I like that decision to take the ball to the basket.
See if they run that same play here. Try to get it under the Bond. She goes out and sets the pick. Yep, and then she slips to the basket, but they picked it up. Corbett did a nice job recognizing that and sliding over. Claiborne trying to take it into the hoop. Does. Turnaround jumper off the glass. No good. Didn't hit the rim. Coogan comes down with the rebound. They head the other way. Try to get it inside. That was tipped away by somebody on the Wildcats. Ended up in the hands of Amber Washington. She's got a 3-on-2 if she wants it. Floater off the glass is good. So Amber Washington with 20 points. Not sure what her career high is, but that might be it.
And you see it's 14, so it's still doable. Again, make sure you limit them to one possession on this end. And she definitely carried the ball.
Nice look inside by Coogan. Bray misses, and then she dishes it off to DeMauro, who gets in.
You can't give up that offensive rebound.
Yeah.
It
was all red shirts on the inner circle.
You can't give up that offensive rebound there.
Brittingham has it. DeMauro out covering her. She gets it over to Garrison. Garrison considered the 3. Nice pick there by Claiborne. Bond with a little jumper from the baseline. No good. Great rebound there by Trinity Brittingham. She puts it back in.
Love to see her crash the glass on that.
Second game in a row. She's got double figures. 10 tonight, 14 against Mercy on Wednesday, on Holy Family on Wednesday night. It was Caldwell who played Mercy on Wednesday night. 14 points still. Turnaround by DeMauro. That's a miss, but Coogan with the rebound. So, again, the offensive rebounds hurting Wilmington here in this fourth quarter. DeMauro converts to extend the lead to 16.
Yeah, you're talking it would be 12 with the ball if they hadn't given out 2 offensive rebounds last 2 possessions.
Coach Brian August takes the timeout. We'll see if it's a full or a 30. And he's talking to his team, I imagine, about those offensive rebounds. It's pretty clear to see it is going to be a 30-second. And Sophia DeMauro and Lucy Coogan are not small in stature.
No, they're good. They're good players,
right.
Like good players. So they're earning it too. I'm not saying Wilmington is just giving them the ball. Caldwell's working for that offensive rebounds. But yeah, you have to account for everybody.
Coogan's got 14 rebounds, but what that number doesn't tell you is how many rebounds she has helped create just by her presence, because Brooke Corbett, who is all of 5'8", has 10 rebounds. And so you can only imagine several of those rebounds are coming from the fact that Coogan's presence is in the game. So 4:28 to play here, a 72-56 lead for Caldwell. And Downen is in the game along with Fuller and Claiborne, Brittingham, and Amber Washington. Floater by Fuller, misses by a bunch. And coming down with it is Caldwell. And my guess is they were told by Coach Christy Conforti, we've got 30 seconds to use on the shot clock. Let's use most of it each time, but maybe not, because with 22 seconds left on the clock, DeMauro fires from 3 to add to her game high 24 points. The correction is going to be 27 points once the stats catch up to the play on the floor, because they have her as 0 for 3 from 3. Or was that a 2?
That was a 2.
Okay, so she does have 24 points. My apologies to the stat people. They're right on top of things. Brittingham fires from 3. That's hard off and to the left of the back of the rim. DeMauro runs it down, managed to get it away from Downen, and they head the other way. 74-56, the game getting a little bit away here for Caldwell as they look to pick up their first win in conference play. Scrum on the floor there, and that's one of those ones you hope nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
And it was DeMauro on the floor was the red shirt. I didn't catch the white shirt. Not sure if you did, Lisa, or not.
Downen. And it's her arm, actually. It was behind her, so it's good she got it out.
So jump ball is going to stay Caldwell ball. Corbett will inbound to Lewis. Lewis to Coogan, tries to get it inside. DeMaro's going to fire, and she does. So the Division I transfer from Ryder now has a team high 26 points, comes in averaging just 8 points, so more than 3 times her average tonight.
I don't know how she only averages 8 points.
I don't know either. Now, she was injured all of last year, and I don't have it in front of me. I don't think how many games exactly that she has played, whether she's played them all or not. And somebody just fouled out.
Claiborne.
And it's going to be Deja Claiborne. So Claiborne's going to foul out with 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of 8 from the field. And she was held scoreless in the first half, but she was on fire in the third quarter. And as we talked about, probably kept the Wildcats in the game in the third quarter, even though they were outscored, but kept them in the game at the time. Coogan's going to fire from 3. That's no good. Fuller comes down with it, manages to corral it, but loses the handle there as Bray comes away with it. Lewis with the 10-foot jumper, rattles around no good, and coming down with that rebound is Katie Bouchon. And she's tied up by Brooke Corbett, and that's going to be a jump ball. So we've had several jump balls underneath. Zay Garrison is going to check in. She's going to come in for Mia Fuller. Garrison comes in with the 4 fouls, kind of irrelevant here with 2:37 left to play. Brittingham fires from 3, no good, and DeMauro captures the rebound, and she's going to be fouled there by Bouchon. And that's going to be the 6th foul in Wilmington, and so DeMauro is going to head to the free throw line and try to hit the 30-point mark, Lisa.
Yeah, I don't know how she's only averaging 8 points a game.
I don't either. She can shoot.
She has everything.
She can shoot from everywhere on the floor.
Yes.
60% free throw
and
shooter
has
hits
nice
that one.
Form.
Yeah.
I don't know how she's only 60% from the foul line.
Second one is up and good. Perfect rotation.
Yeah, there's nothing you would change about her foul shots.
Not at all.
So I don't know why she's not like 85%, because that's what the shot appears to be.
Yep. Jumper there, no good by Amber Washington. And a 22-point lead for Caldwell here as we approach the 2-minute mark. And a 30-second timeout is going to be taken by Christy Conforti. And my guess is she's just going to discuss with her team. It looks like it's going to be a massive substitution. At least 4 people have gone over and tapped the scorer's table. And so I imagine that was the main point of the timeout, is to get her starters out, or the players that get significant time, and then bring the rest in and talk about how they want to spend this last 2 minutes, which I would think be, let's not take any wild, crazy shots early in the shot clock. We can and get out of here with our first win.
And this is the time when you earn minutes. Like if you're coming off the bench and you're, wondering about why you're not playing a lot or you want more time, it's not coming in and trying to score 30 points in 2 minutes. It's coming in and showing that, hey, I know the right pass to make. I'm going to defend. I'm going to rebound. And, I can hit the open shot if it's given to me.
I understand the game
yeah.
and my role in it.
And that's a perfect way to put it. I understand the game and my role in it. That's a perfect way to put it.
So Caldwell's going to pick up their first win of the season. They're going to snap a 3-game losing streak. They were preseason number 3 in the CACC North. Dominican picked to finish number 1, post number 2. Last year, Caldwell was 10-18, 6-12 in the conference. They lost to Thomas Jefferson in the quarterfinals. They were the 4th seed in that. It was the 16th straight time that Caldwell has made the CACC tournament. So quite an accomplishment. And Christy Conforti has picked off right where her predecessor left off, Conforti in her 3rd season. Nice D by Wilmington there. Now they're going to call over or back there, Lisa.
I thought McFarland hit it, but hey, we're going to take it.
Yeah, and I didn't think Caldwell ever had control of it. Let me ask you this question as a former head coach. If Caldwell even gets their hand on it, does that give them possession? I'm not sure how that's not a foul. But
wow, I don't know.
That's a foul in the NFL.
Well, that's 15. I think the score and the time played a factor in that non-call.
Very well could have.
Yeah, so you have to possess the ball, have possession of the ball in that
not just touch it.
Right.
And I didn't think Caldwell had possession, but obviously the referees disagreed with me. And to your point, the score might have had something to do with that call as well, giving the ball back to Wilmington. Amber Washington adding to her team high of now 20 points. Foul was on Alexander, her first foul of the 4th quarter for Caldwell, if the scoreboard's correct, and no reason to think it's not. That should be Wilmington ball, and it's going to be. As right in front of us, Corbett passed it in, and it got tipped right back to her, and she was still standing out of bounds.
Yep.
Garrison in with McFarlane and Bushong for Wilmington.
I think they're trying to get a full shot clock here.
Brittingham and Washington also in. Foul situation is irrelevant really at this point, but Caldwell shooting the penalty the rest of the way. Caldwell only 2 fouls for itself. Washington with the jump shot, rattles in and out, no good. Bushong unable to convert. That I thought was going to be Wilmington ball, but I guess it went off Zay Garrison. Ref is going to come over and I think correct that call, and she does. So a nice teamwork there by the officials, getting together and making sure, most importantly, that call got corrected, and it did. It's going to stay Wilmington ball. Tipped away, and it's going to be Caldwell ball there. 13 turnovers for Wilmington, so 10 less than their average, so that is a positive thing here for Wilmington, and especially when you consider several of those turnovers happened in the first half. Kind of a forced shot there. Alexander, 2 players tie up underneath. It's going to be a jump ball. And so Wilmington had 9 turnovers at the half. And so have just 4 here in the second half. Minute to play, 78-58. 20-point lead, and Lisa, it doesn't feel like a 20-point difference.
No,
the way
and
played.
It's a shame it is a 20-point difference. They didn't play 40 minutes yet. It's coming, and you see it coming.
They played well in the first half. The 3rd quarter hurt them. A jumper inside by Garrison is good.
Yeah, they missed a lot of drives to the basket. They didn't finish, and that ended up hurting them in the 3rd quarter.
Outscored 27-11 in the 3rd, as that's going to be a foul on Brittingham there. And it's a 1-point difference here in the 4th. So it was the 3rd quarter was the difference in this game.
And that was the last game Holy Family, correct? Like they came out at halftime.
Right.
And I had commented earlier. I didn't see that fire after halftime.
First shot is up and good, so 79-60 your score here with 38 seconds left. Wilmington should get the ball back, and they do. Zay Garrison picks up the miss and hits a leaking McFarlane, who scores on the other end. So a defensive mistake there by...
Absolutely, nobody got back. On the foul side, nobody got back.
Yep. And that's going to be a foul on Zay Garrison. That's kind of a ticky-tack foul to call in this situation, but I guess a foul is a foul. I was going to say, I think that's 5 on Garrison it is. She heads out, and Haley down and heads in. And For Zay Garrison, she did a nice job in the box and one on the defensive side of things. Checks out with 5 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. So not a bad job overall.
Not at all. And you can't take them home with you, so
nope.
might as well give them out today. Yep.
First shot misses for Brooke Corbett. Corbett 0 of 2 now from the free throw line. And shot clock is off. Downen fires from 3. That's hard off the back of the rim. And coming down with the rebound is Corbett. And I would imagine at this point they will just run the clock out.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see a shot here.
And that's exactly what KJ Gordon is going to do. And that is going to bring us to the end of this CACC contest. Caldwell picking up their first win in the conference with a 79-62 victory over Wilmington. Amber Washington led the Wildcats with 22 points, added 2 rebounds and 2 assists. 10 points apiece for Deja Claiborne, Anaya Bond, and Trinity Brenningham. 5 for Zay Garrison, 3 for Mia Fuller, and Samaya Farling with 2. 30 points for Sevilla DeMauro. A game-high 14 for Lucy Coogan and 11 for Louis Jamal. Coogan also had 14 rebounds. We're going to have Coach Brian August with us when we come back. Your final, Caldwell 79, Wilmington University 62. Welcome back inside the athletics complex where Caldwell has defeated Wilmington University 79-62. Joining us is head coach Brian August. And, Coach, it was the third quarter that ended up being the difference. Your team played excellent in the first half. You saw a lot of good things there. Deja Claiborne had a great third quarter, but wasn't enough for you. Talk a little bit about your team's effort today.
Our goal today was to play 4 quarters. We haven't been playing 4 quarters. Played a good first half against a really good Holy Family team last game. And then we got annihilated in the second half. That was our talk in the locker room, so we were really frustrated with that. I just don't know what went through their mind. They did play hard the first half. Second, we just broke down. We broke down in the third quarter. Like you said about Deja, she played real well. We think she's a double-double in this league, and we're trying to get her more shots. Lately, she's only getting like 2 or 3 shots a game. We think she's never capable of getting double figures every game. We're just going to keep working, like I said. I mean, we're busting our butt in practice. They're good girls, but it's hard to get over that hump when you're used to losing and you're not understanding what the winning feeling is, and that's what we're trying to do. But the floor is all that matters. The 4 quarters of basketball is all that matters.
And you can tell all the work you've done, in practice.
What's that?
You can see all the work you've done in practice. So talk a little bit about like the changing defenses, and we saw a number of different defenses.
We tried to go like a box and one on their number 1, which averaged their best about 16 a game, and she's pretty tough with the ball. So we put Zay on her early. I think we messed them up a little bit on that.
Oh, I thought it was super effective.
Third quarter, and then we went back. When she went out, we went back to a 2-3. We were trying to press out of our 2-3, trap out of our 2-3. Our press today was terrible, especially in the second quarter. But we were just trying to mix it up. It's hard just to put the whole man-to-man principles in there with the amount of time that I had. But we got a week off here. We're going to switch some things up this week, too.
Last question for you. 2 new players, Haley Downen, Katie Bushong, certainly familiar with Wilmington University athletics. One a softball player, the other a volleyball player. What do they bring to your team?
They just bring a lot of knowledge and energy. And and just great attitude every single day. We had a few girls that we lost at the break, and I called people that I thought on other teams that were pretty good high school players. So Haley's a capable three-point shooter, and Katie gives us a lot of energy inside. She bounces around. She got slowed down a little bit. She could score 8 to 10 points a game at this level once she relaxes and says, I'm playing basketball now. She was a really good player in Pennsylvania, and Haley was a really good player in Maryland as well in high school.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go with your team. We appreciate you stopping by. Have a great week at practice. We'll see you. Good luck the rest of till we see you again here at Wilmington. Coach Brian August, we appreciate him stopping by. Always next game for these two teams. Caldwell hosts Dominican on Thursday at 5:30. Wilmington has a week off, as you heard Brian August mention. They're going to head to Felician University on Saturday for a 1 p.m. tip-off. That game can be seen on the Felician CACC network. That link is available on the university website. That's going to do it for our post-game show. Special thanks to Rick Edevade and Dan Loletta behind the scenes and a whole crew of Wilmington University students who helped make this possible. Once again, your final score, Caldwell 79, Wilmington University 62. For Lisa Sullivan, I'm John Busby. Until next time, so long from Wildcat Country.